Hello and welcome back to another video. I'm working on the FRS again, and this does involve me cutting some shit. So I picked up a set of the race Louvers fender vents. These go on the side of the fender to help evacuate the air that gets stuck inside your fender. So it's something very similar to the hood louvers, the hood vents. They are pretty simple, just two louvers and a bag of rivets. At least these come with stickers. My last part didn't come with stickers, and they do come with a template to lay down on your fender so you know where to cut. These guys live right behind the fender. Your little curve goes along with your wheel well. So yeah, goes around there somewhere. Should look pretty cool. Okay, why would you want these? Air can kind of build up underneath your fender and cause lift. You notice like a lot of like full-on track cars or even factory cars like Porsche GT3s and stuff will have vents up here, and that's to relieve that pressure. And also, it's good for additional cooling and additional air downforce. They do make the ones that go over the top of the fender, but I personally like the look of these ones better. I don't know. According to them, the functionality is the same. I don't think one's better than the other, but I like the looks of that one. If you watch my hood louver video, this is going to be very similar, except I'm going to take off the fender, tape it up, put the template on it, make my marks, cut it out, and rivet these guys on. So it'll be pretty easy. Okay, race louvers do say if you're doing this for cooling reasons, to cut the bottom side of your fender liner out. But if you're doing it for aerodynamics, aero reasons, is to leave your fender liners in. But I don't have any, so I guess I'm going with open. So I'm going to go ahead and take that fender off. Hey, the fender is off. Next game plan is to figure out roughly where this is going to go on the fender. Sorry, Heltec, you're going to have to go. I'm going to tape it up, then cut out my template. As you see, I got my template all cut out. It's a little tedious, but not hard. I got taped down where I want my vent to live. Try to get it as centered as possible. Trying to get this gap same as this side and get both sides straight. I think it's straight, because I'll find out once it's on the car. And I also use a Sharpie to mark the inside of my template. Now I can take that template off and I can cut that line. Also, if you can, be careful taking off your template, because you can reuse it on the opposite side. Just flip it over. So don't tear it, unless you want to cut out another template. First thing I'm going to do is it's recommended to have a 3/8 drill bit and drill out the corners. Makes life a little easier. Then I have an assortment of cutting tools to try. A lot of times I end up using this guy. So let's get to chopping. Okay, I use my flat disc and kind of smooth it out and also massage it. Like just some areas where these guys were touching the side. I also had to enlarge it a little bit. So when you make your cut the hole bigger than the template. Like 1/8 bigger, and everything should clear. Next, I gotta start working on the hole. So get some drill bits, get some Klinkos, and yeah. Okay, I have my big gaping hole, so the fender's a little lighter. But before we rivet the vent on, we need to paint where we cut it and drill the holes, because it is metal. If you don't, it's gonna rust. So I gotta tape it up again. So while that's drying, I guess I can take the opposite fin off and eat dinner, I guess. Okay, the paint is dry enough on this one. Letting that one dry. Now I can do the rivets. The kit comes with some pretty big rivets. Some thick boys. Also, I've said it in other videos, these things, probably don't know what they are. These are Klinkos. These are pretty a handy tool if you do a lot of like sheet metal work and stuff. Pretty common in aviation. That's why I have them. It's good. These pretty much act as a temporary rivet and clamp these two pieces of metal together, making my part line up and all my holes line up a lot easier. Hey, the vents are done. I got both sets riveted on. I didn't show you much of the other one because it's the exact same thing, of course. Now all that's left is to put them on. Hey, the vents are done. I got the fenders back on. That take me too long. Overall, it's not a very hard project as long as you don't mind cutting into stuff. You can definitely do it in a day, in an afternoon, in a few hours, depending how long you want to let the paint dry. Since this color is a dark color, it's not black, but it's close to it, the louver kind of blends in. Damn, wind, chill. So the black louver just kind of blends in, which is, I guess, not a bad thing. Something I would recommend is, if you care about cosmetics, is paint behind the fender. So you can see how there's kind of a lighter color on the frame of the car. And it's not painted very much from the factory there. They kind of skipped up on paint. So yeah. Wouldn't be a bad idea to kind of touch that stuff up before you put the fender on. Would look a little better. One kind of bad thing about these vents on this car, it kind of reveals a secret that it has, part of its past. Before I bought this car, it was already wrecked. It had a rebuilt title. And this was the damage from previously, which I never saw because of the fender liner. Like, it was years later after owning this car that I've noticed that damage though. So yeah, you can kind of see it through the vents now, all crushed up. The car was always driven fine and straight, so whatever, I don't care. Still looks good-ish. It's a little ratty. That's why it's in the track wrap. Really the only way I can kind of think to kind of test these is what I did with the Louvers, is use my string. But I don't really know what I can tell from the experiment. Like, just the wind in general from the side of the car will probably be enough to make the yarn wiggle. But I guess we can try it anyway to see what it does. It's also an excuse to go drive, so why not? Hopefully that footage turned out okay. So after reviewing the video, what I can really tell is a lot of stuff like on the fenders, doors, and kind of around the vent, or laying a little bit more flat against the body, where these are coming out a little bit. Could just be how they're taped in the direction, but you can definitely tell it was coming this way. I don't know how much of it is heat or air buildup inside the fender. Can't really tell, but it was worth a try. And also a little clue for my next project. I did do something else to the car off camera, something a little icy. You can kind of see I iced out the inside of the car. I'm gonna open the door. I got some LEDs on the roof on both sides.
Are you afraid of the dark? Are you scared? You know, I am you.
Now I can actually see what I'm doing at night, not fumbling around. Also looks kind of cool at night as well. Yeah. So I've been working really hard to try to make these videos educational, a little bit entertaining. I'm not the most entertaining person in the world, but I hope you guys get something out of it. Some tips, tricks, or just easy ways to do some of these projects. So if you do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, and I will see you next time. Peace.